Hey everybody, and it's another day of Halloween, and check it out. We are doing Resident Evil, the movie. Now, I've had a fun bit of time watching these movies and enjoying them, and while I admit they're not perfect, this series was very good. And the first movie was definitely good. Paul W.S. Anderson, I hope I'm saying the name right, Miss, and, Miss Jovieski's husband, who, by the way, also directed Mortal Kombat and did most of these films, and also AVP, yes, Alien vs. Predator, the first one, the one that was actually considered good, actually did a pretty good job here. And I gotta say, until this movie came around, there really weren't all that many good video game movies, especially not in the horror genre. I mean, you had Mortal Kombat, it could kind of go there a little bit, but, you had Double Dragon, that sucked. Street Fighter definitely sucks. I'm sorry. You messed with Raul Julia. I mean, it was his last movie. He had something to Bison, but it just didn't work. They made him too comical. Go figure. But in this movie, they actually do a very good job. And I feel like they really pulled it off. Now, first of all, ooh, sorry about that. It should be noted and said that this is not directly based on any of the video games. Now, I know how that sounds, but it's actually the truth. And I have something here I want to show you, if I still have it. I hope. Here we go. Check this out. Believe it or not, the same company, Pocket Books, that used to do the Star Trek novels, also was responsible for making the Resident Evil novels. Now, the only one I still have left out of the collection is Resident Evil City of the Dead, which is based on Resident Evil 2. And it's pretty good. I mean, check it out. Bring on the Night. I may actually just do a straight review on this and Resident Evil 2 because, it's the game's storyline. And I think even the new one has some good stuff connected to it. But anyways, let's keep going. So, what's the difference between this movie and the video game series? Well, there are a few things. The first big one is that this is an actual prequel. This is right at the moment where all hell breaks loose. Literally, the hive, the place, the mansion is literally infested. We actually see the moment the virus is unleashed. We actually see the cause of what caused it to go. We know about the Red Queen. It's good. This is set before Resident Evil 0, Resident Evil, the first game. This is set before all of them. So we are literally seeing the initial outbreak. And it's pretty terrifying. I have to say, this movie made these zombies, pretty terrifying. Even though, they're slow moving, zombies. The thing is, if you don't know they're zombies, they're going to get you and pretty quick. And we even see a few of them are a little different. Of course, there's also some of the creatures. We see a licker in the film. And the fact that all of this is based on a prequel with no clear understanding except that, how did it all get out? And we actually see in the beginning of 2 the event that gets it all back up to the mansion, which sets up the events of Resident Evil 1 and then later Resident Evil 2. It's pretty good. Now, was the movie actually any good? And the answer is actually surprising yes. It is actually a pretty good film. It's not the most perfect film, I'm not going to lie, but it's definitely pretty good. What I like is that they show that the Umbrella Corporation is pretty depraved, pretty dangerous. They don't care what's going to happen. This whole facility gets wiped out. You have people, friends and families who are just infected and then killed off quickly. And they did a very good job. I mean, I got to enjoy a bit of that beginning because it really introduces you to these people. You see what they were before they became zombies, many of them. And, you even realize that after these characters die, they're coming back as these zombies. And in a couple of cases, I actually felt bad because a couple of them, we really got to know a little bit about them, and we got to understand they were people. They had family. They had friends. They had a life. And it was pretty cool. We even see them doing little banter and stuff before they start, all this stuff starts happening. So it's really impressive. There's a ticking time clock, of course. And just the whole point of this infection, how it spreads, the characters, the the cold, calculated nature of the Red Queen in the movie is pretty damn cool. And she just works as a great build-up character. And I think that is honestly what makes this movie so good, is that there is a ticking time clock. We don't know what's going to happen, and things just keep getting better. I mean, they even have, as far as I can tell, their own version of the liquor in this film that I think a game would have loved to have had, because it'd been like, wait, you mean it just got worse? How the hell am I supposed to kill this thing now? And that's a pretty good working point. And I love how it's set up, and it's set up so well, and you don't know what's going to happen. Now, if you've seen the film, you do, and I'm not going to spoil how this film ends, but let's just say it's pretty good. Now, the other cool thing, and I do want to say this, is that, believe it or not, you actually have an impressive soundtrack to the movie, too. One moment, please. Let's see, and I got the soundtrack to the movie as well. Now, the reason I like this is because it actually does have a lot of really good songs in here. And by the way, the Blu-ray as well as the DVDs also come with the Slipknot My Plague music video, which is pretty cool. We also have Marilyn Manson, the fight song. And Manson actually did the, believe it or not, he was one of the main contributors to the score of the film. So that's pretty cool. Cold Chamber, the Crystal Method is on here. I don't know if their song appeared in the film, but that song is here. Static X is on the soundtrack. In fact, just take a look. I hope it focuses. If it doesn't, I'm sorry. Damn. Come on, focus, man. Focus. And you don't want to focus. I hate that. Sorry, guys. I hate it when it does that. But great soundtrack. And when you hear that music, it's got this feel to it that's just like, it hits you good. And with the characters they had in this film, and I was actually rooting for some of these characters too to make it out. It's a horror movie. Not everybody's going to make it out. And despite this movie not being a super big budget film, they pulled off a lot with very little. And I do actually think, because of the budget restrictions, if you ever hear the film and you ever hear the audio commentary, there was a particular scene where they wanted to do something with some doors. And what we see in the film is we see the characters walking up and the doors are closing. We see the shadows, but we don't actually see the doors. I think that's better because we in our minds, we can actually, make up what's going on. And that's the thing. Sometimes a restriction on budget, it can be problematic, but it can also be beneficial because you have to get used to what you have to do, or you have to get even more creative to pull that out of your butt. And in this film's case, they really did that well. Again, this is not a film for everybody. It's not going to appeal to everybody. It is a video game film, but it's still a good horror movie too. It's a good zombie film, and I love it. Plus you have this whole, monsters being made, genetic manipulation. You have a supercomputer that's kind of gone a little wacko. And if you don't believe me, just stop the video and go check out a trailer for the movie. And then rent it or whatever, I think you can rent it here on YouTube. So there's that. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoy the movie. I will see you later. And like and subscribe and all that good stuff. Hit the bell and, yada, yada, yada. We got more movies coming for October, and I got to finish getting ready for those kids. We got some good fun for them this year.